Let's move on now to the next topic. And the next email today comes to us from Tommy N, who writes, I guess dumb doesn't have a time limit. I got to make a t-shirt out of that, Tommy. I guess dumb doesn't have a time limit. The president of the Academy has recently said that they are still looking at doing that stupid Best Popular Film category at the Oscars. Granted, he didn't say it was a sure thing, but the fact that they're even still talking about it makes me lose faith in humanity. You've had some time to think about it. Have you changed your mind at all on this subject? All right, thanks a lot for the email, Tommy. So what Tommy's talking about is this. Some of you will probably remember that a short time ago, word came out that kind of rocked a lot of the film fan world, that the Academy was looking at making some changes. A couple of changes they suggested I actually thought were good changes. But the one that stood out and the one that everybody talked about was the implementation of this absolutely ridiculous notion of let's do a Best Popular Film category. To which many of us said, what the hell are you talking about? It is clearly the most asinine thing the Academy has ever come up with. And listen, I'm a fan of the Academy. I love the Oscars and I love the Academy Awards. Aside from Christmas, Christmas is my favorite day of the year. Aside from Christmas, my favorite day of the year is the Oscars. I love the Oscars. But something like this made me wonder, like, are they smoking something? Is it is it the air quality in LA that's damaging their brain cells? Like, how could anybody be so stupid to, number one, come up with this idiotic idea? And number two, actually discuss it in committees and go, yeah, this sounds like a great idea. It was the absolute stupidest thing I've ever seen the Academy propose. And the Academy has done some stupid things. Let's be honest. The Academy has done some stupid things. At any rate, shortly after that, and all the hailstorm came down of people objecting to it, they kind of pulled the plug on it. However, they have not shut the lights out on this idea entirely, and they're keeping the idea alive for all the wrong reasons. Anyway, Vanity Fair recently wrote a piece about this whole situation going up, and they said the following. Check this out. So speaking about the Academy President John Bailey, drawing viewers in by catering. First of all, whenever you use the word catering, that's a bad sign, man. That is a red flag. Total red flag. Drawing viewers in by catering to mainstream hits seemed like a good idea to the board at the time, he said. But the pushback against the proposed new category was strong enough that the Academy ultimately announced that it would no longer introduce the prize at the 2019 ceremony. However, that is not to say that the idea is dead, he added. Even after a stake was driven through its heart, there's still interest. Okay, so it's number one. The whole idea of, we got to start catering. We got to start catering. Oh, we got to turn this thing into the MTV Movie Awards. We got to cater. You know what? Here's the thing. And before we get on to the second part of this quote, hear this. This is why I have such a big problem with this. The reason I love the Academy Awards and the Oscars, and look, I know a lot of you guys have issues with the Oscars. That's cool. That's fine. But let me tell you why I love them and why I have such a problem with this, okay? The reason I love the Oscars so much is because they don't bloody cater to me. I'm a fan. I love it. But I don't want them to cater to me. Yes, I'll whine and moan and bitch and complain about the fact that Forrest Gump got Best Picture over Shawshank Redemption. Big swing and a miss. Yes, I'll moan and whine and complain that Star Wars The Phantom Menace didn't win Best Visual Effects because even though the movie was crap, it was the best visual effects. Yes, I'll moan and complain every year and every Oscars about certain people I think should have got nominated. I thought Logan should have been nominated for Best Picture of the Year, and it didn't, and I will whine and moan and bitch and complain about it. Yes, I will, but I love the fact underneath all of that they don't cater. That's why I can agree or I can disagree. I can be outraged by certain things they do, but the underlying thing of it all is they've never catered to me, and I respect that. I've always appreciated the fact that this is an organization and this is an award ceremony and this is a body that says, no, we are going to celebrate excellence. And excellence, as in all other things in film, is subjective. We're not all going to agree. So we've got this huge voting body of like 8,000 members, all with differing opinions, and we're going to celebrate what we collectively think is the best in excellence, and we ain't going to cater to nobody. We're not going to cater to this demographic of fan. We're not going to cater to that demographic of fan. We're just going to celebrate what we think is the best. That's it. That's our only criteria. That's it. And the moment now that they start admitting, we got to cater to a certain group of people, now you're nothing better. You're no better than the MTV Movie Awards. That's it. You're no better than the MTV Movie Awards at this point. Let's rah anything that's popular. Yay! No, screw excellence. Screw what's the best. Let's just cater. And yes, that means every year I'll be outraged a little bit at things I thought should have been nominated that didn't, winners that won that I didn't think should have won. Yeah. But that's part of the greatness of it. That's part of the reason I've always respected it still, because they don't cater to me. And the moment they start talking about that, dude, that is a red flag. That is a flag that says this academy has lost its way. They've done some really good things in recent years, adding much younger demographics to their voting base, a much more diverse voting base. They're doing some really good things. They are. But the fact that this idea in the first place even got to the floor tells me this is an academy that has lost its way. The fact that they're even using words like we got to cater tells me this is an academy that has lost all sense of their identity and who they are and what they represent. Because guess what? If you give Logan Best Picture, and I thought it was the best movie of the year, but if you give Logan Best Picture just to cater to me and my kind, then it's meaningless now. Yay, Logan won Best Picture. It was my favorite movie of the year, but I know it's all BS because you just gave it to cater to it. And it loses all of its relevance. It loses all of its credibility as soon as you start to say we're catering. Even if you're catering to me, it's BS, and it bothers me. All right. We breathe. Let's look at the second part of the statement that brings up an entirely different problem here. Okay, so this is a continuation of that. Bailey, that's the president of the Academy, also tipped off some of the Academy's ongoing conversations about the future of the organization and the televised Oscar ceremony, noting that Disney, which owns ABC, is trying to expand the awards to millennials in order to help the telecast thrive through ABC's 2028 contract. Let me read that last part again, okay? The organization, the Academy's ongoing conversations about the future of the organization and the televised Oscar ceremony, noting that Disney, which owns ABC, is trying to expand the awards to millennials in order to help the telecast thrive through ABC's 2028 contract. This is what we have here. Number one, completely doing the wrong thing by catering to a group of people, no matter how big that group is. Catering is a problem. But now, number two, we got a problem with their motive. Their motive is a problem. Because what's their motive? Got to have the ratings for the TV show. We got to have the ratings for that one day a year that we broadcast a show. The television company that broadcast, they want us to do this and this so we can get the ratings up. That's why you're doing this? You're completely compromising the integrity of what you stand for. And look, I know we're just talking about the Oscars here. Why get so wound up? Because I love the Oscars. It's my second favorite day of the year. And the fact that they're screwing with it so much. So number one, they're doing something stupid. And number two, the second quote that we got there, they're doing it for completely idiotic and wrong and undermining reasons. All because we got to get ratings up. And again, you're doing nothing but becoming another cheap version and joke like the MTV Movie Awards. That's what you're making yourselves. You're doing something stupid and you're doing it for stupid reasons. The Academy is supposed to be a body that embodies The whole notion of the subjectivity of film, we all see art differently, and they have a big 6, 7, 8,000 voting member base to celebrate exclusively excellence, to vote in the terms of excellence, to present in the terms of excellence, and to honor excellence. And that means I'm going to disagree sometimes, and that's fine. But you start to cater, and you start to do it with the motivation, when the whole purpose of your academy now changes from celebrating the art, when the purpose of your academy changes from celebrating the films, when the purpose of your academy changes from celebrating and recognizing excellence to what we really are as an annual show, we got to do whatever it takes to get the ratings up, then you've lost your way. This Bailey guy has got to go. This Bailey guy, if you are so spineless as a leader of this academy, if you are so incompetent as the caretaker of this organization and what it's represented to film fans like me, if you're this incompetent, this dude's gotta go. You gotta go. And you might be the greatest guy in the world, you might be a super sweetheart of a dude, but you are not the right guy for this job. And I understand it's not just this John Bailey guy, it's the academy as a whole, it's a whole board, it's a whole voting membership. I understand this, I do. But you're the president. You got to lead. You got to influence. You got to steer this ship. And maybe the whole frickin' board of the academy has to go. This isn't just about, you see, some people look at me like I'm a little strange because I am. But they look at me a little strange. John, it's like one category. Who cares? No, it's what it represents. It represents the complete undermining of what the academy has been, what it means, and what it should be for us as film fans. We do it because we got to cater to people. We're going to do it so we can get high ratings on the shows. Well, then, you know what? Your award is useless. And even if you don't implement this change now, it concerns me so much as a fan that you even considered it for those stupid reasons. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on the subject. Time for us to move on because I could bellow on this all day. Anyway.